Paragon 7 Studios.
I loved my cousin. I knew he was my family. And he caused so much trauma, so much hurt, so much pain. I knew what he was doing to me wasn't right. And he did it for 6 years straight. From the age of 6 to 12. And I'm talking about naked, just touching me, just like I enticed him in some way, somehow. So I loved him and he hurt me. My dad loved my father. We have a great relationship. It hasn't always been like that. I felt at one time he abandoned me. I felt at one time he didn't love me the way I needed to be loved. So a lot of times the people we love hurt us.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Thank you, my love. Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Everything I have done with her is all the programs, all the jail stays, all the phone calls, all going up and down 145th Street, knocking on doors. When she needed me the most, I was there. They called, said she had to bring her son home. I went and got him. But thank God she's where she's at today. I couldn't ask for nothing better than this. 10 years, almost 11 years clean. I'm the happiest I could ever been.
First real drink. I snuck into my uncle's room. He had a bar in his room. And I poured myself some absolute vodka. And I drank it straight. And it felt like everything I was going through disappeared. It felt like I had no abandonment issues. I had no trauma issues. I had no depression. I had no anxiety. None of that. I loved it. And I drank it every day. I stole from my uncle every day. I would skip school, go to the liquor store, go to the bodega, buy beer, and just get wasted. Again, it felt good. I didn't have a care in the world when I was drinking. And I'm talking
14 years old. Like in the morning, I had to have it. When I woke up and it was time to go to school, I had to have it. To the point where I love that more than soda. It really helped with the pain. It really helped with the pain. The pain of being touched, being abandoned by both parents, dealing with colorism as a child, just everything that I was going through. For that moment that I was tipsy, drunk, whatever you want to call it, for that moment, I didn't have those problems. And this went on for years. For years. I was great at hiding it. Great. I was great at hiding it. Hiding me being tipsy, me being drunk. I would sleep it off. By the time I never went to school, so by the time I came home from school, I was sober already. Or almost there. And only one knew was my sister. My sister knew everything about me. Oh, I dropped out of school at 14 years old. I dropped out of school in the 9th grade. My dad thought he was sending me to school, and my grandmother, and I wasn't going to school. I would go I'll be in the park, drinking, I'll be at somebody's house. But I dropped out of school at 19. They didn't find out till later on, at 14. They didn't find out till later on, but yeah, I didn't even make it past the 9th grade.
See, I didn't experience my dad and my mom being on drugs. I just knew like something was wrong. I didn't see my mom nodding out. I didn't see my dad smoking. I didn't see none of that. What I did see was my mom always with alcohol. It affected me personally because I wasn't raised with my parents, and that was a big part of my issue growing up. I wanted to be raised with my parents. Being taken away from my mom, and it's crazy because I'm 41, and this happened when I was 2, and I remember the day, me being taken away from my mom to go live with my grandma because of drugs. I still didn't quite understand. Like I said, I never seen my parents on any drug. I never seen my mom nodding out. I never seen my father using drugs. Most of my life, I seen my dad clean. It was my mom who, I saw with the bottle, and she always had it in her back pocket all the time. She even had a name for it. But you talking, that's really mostly what I remember. 1992 or 1993, I was sexually molested by an older cousin. And it happened for about 6 straight summers. I would go, it would be my turn to take a shower. And when he heard the water stop running, he would come upstairs and he would rub his penis on me until he came. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what was happening. But in my brain, as this 6, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, I knew this was wrong. I knew this was wrong. For one, we were family. And he was a grown man. But I continued to let him do it almost every day, the whole summer, for 6, 7 years. I'm only saying it now because when we were younger, my grandmother used to always tell me and my sister, she didn't let us sit on no man's lap. She didn't let them kiss us. She barely even let them hug us. And that even went for my own father. But she did tell us when we were younger, and I'll never forget. She always said if somebody did something to us, she would kill them. And we believed her. I believed her so much that I kept that secret. However, it hurt me that I didn't have anyone that I can tell. For one, I thought I wouldn't be believed. For two, I didn't know who to trust, because if my own cousin could do this to me, who else could do it to me? And I didn't tell my grandmother because I didn't want me and my sister to be separated. My sister was all I knew. My grandmother was all I knew.
I was 16 years old, 2001. I get pregnant. My dad finds out, and it's like, listen, can't have no baby here. You know, I end up getting an abortion. And about maybe 2 to 3 weeks later, I was sent to live with my grandmother in North Carolina, where I met a 39-year-old man. And that man turned me out. He introduced me to cocaine, and I started sniffing cocaine. I would go meet him around the corner at my cousin's house. I would go to his house. My aunt would drop me off to school, so they thought, but I would end up at his house.
Cardi, from the bottom, from the Bronx, fought her way. She didn't let her environment take over her. Her hurts or whatever she went through, she turned it into a positive. Some of us don't have that strength like she has. I chose Mary J. Blige because she's in recovery. Mary J. Blige had an addiction as well.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she had a cocaine addiction.
I did not know
She's
that.
in recovery. And we were playing Whitney Houston before you got here, and I definitely chose Whitney Houston because of her crack cocaine addiction. And she died so young, so much pain. A lot of times the people that we love turn us into addicts.
Prostitution came, the selling of drugs, the eating out the garbage can, the not bathing, the sleeping under cars, on the train, elevator shafts. That came with that. And we're talking about, I'm 21, 22. I had my first child at 21. And the whole entire time that I was pregnant with my son, I did not bathe at all. I just chased drugs. I was 21 years old. 20. I gave birth to him. I was 21. I was 21 years old. And from then on, from the age of 18 on, you're talking about, I put myself through some things. I'm talking beat, raped, sodomized, hung off a roof. One time I was beat unrecognizable. My sister came to the hospital and my face was smashed in to where the doctors didn't even think I was going to make it. The minute I was able to open my eyes and breathe on my own, I signed myself out the hospital to go get high. Left with a hospital gown on. That, for me, that wasn't enough. That wasn't even my rock bottom. my rock bottom came with the heroin at 24 years old that I lacked in my life. I didn't feel loved by no one in my life. I'm talking about from a child. I never felt loved. But when I sniffed my first bag of heroin, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. That's all I wanted. That's all I craved. I didn't love my children as much as I loved heroin. And by the time I started on heroin, I had 2 children already. That brought me to, I already didn't care, but now my morals, like I stole from my kids, my sister, like, that's a different kind of beast. That's a different kind of beast. And I love that beast with everything in me. From the day I started to the day I stopped. If I could use drugs today and still be the person that I am today, that would be my drug. I didn't get a chance to confront my cousin. He passed away. As far as my dad, yeah. And he was open and he apologized. And he was like, I didn't know what I was doing. Parenting don't come with instructions. He was a first-time dad. I'm his firstborn, and he was facing addiction. So now that I went through that, I get it. Sometimes we gotta leave our children because, not sometimes, 90% of the times addicts leave their children because of addiction or to get clean. So I get it now. And most of all, my dad apologized to me. And the behavior has changed with the apology. Yes, and I went through withdrawal while being pregnant with my son. I went through it that time, and then I went through it again while I was on Rikers Island in 2015. I was using the bathroom on myself. I couldn't keep nothing down, sweating, shaking uncontrollably. I went through that before they put me on methadone. So when I told them that I was taking the program, I had to take the methadone, and they had to wing me off because the program did not give you methadone. It did not give you any kind of control. See, when I went to treatment was treatment. It wasn't harm reduction. It's a difference. Now, I went to treatment for 17 months. During the winter, we have no boots. We have no sneakers. We have no coats. A lot of people you see out here done got their
feet amputated because of frostbites, and then some have sugar diabetes, don't know it because they can't afford health plans or health services, and it eats at their ligaments. So now it's your leg is gone. Now it's your fingers. It's important that we spread the word or try to get health care to those that are suffering from addiction and mental health and homelessness. We take them when they're ready. They come to me and say, well, I've done already had 3 people that I have put into treatment. So I've had 3 people come to me at 3 different times and tell me they were ready. And I've taken them to Tremont. Did they stay? One stayed, completed, but relapsed. One stayed, another stayed, completed, and relapsed. And the other one only stayed like 5 days. But that's my end goal. My end goal is to get you off the street. But while you're on the street, it's for me to make it just a little bit easier, because I know what it's like to have $8 and want to get high, but also be hungry. So if I can make it a little bit better, I will, in any way that I know how. But my end goal is to try to get as many people as I can into Tremont so they can see and feel what life is like on the other side, because somewhere we forgot how good it could be with traveling, loving your family member, your kids calling you mom or dad again. I went through those things, so I want somebody else to experience those things as well.
My family always made sure to especially my aunt and my dad, they made sure to let my kids know who I was, if that makes sense. Like, this is a picture, like, this is mommy. You know, they called other people mommy, which killed me. It killed me. But as I'm sitting here today, I can understand why. I did the same thing as a child, you know. So I didn't have a relationship with my children at all. Oh, those are my babies. Now, I have 3 kids. I have Malik, I have Nazaya, Malik, and Arion, 19, 18, and 13. And those are my boys, man. We worked hard. We had therapy. And I'm talking about just us 4. No outside people, just us 4. You know, I've told them everything that I'm telling you now, my children know. And they've knew from the beginning. I didn't hide anything. I didn't lie to them. I didn't sugarcoat anything, because I'm trying to break a cycle here. And in order to do that, you have to be honest. You have to show children, like, this is what it is. This is why when I go into the field, I make sure to have them with me. I started with my son at the time he was 9, my youngest son. I started this nonprofit, going out and feeding the homeless and stuff with him and my sister. It was just us 3. No table, no nothing. So when I tell you those are my guys, those are my guys. Did you go to jail for robbery? I was pregnant. I did different bids. 1 year here, a year and a half here, and another year and a half here. So I did that. One was criminal sale of a controlled substance, meaning I sold to an undercover. The other one was criminal sale of a controlled substance on school grounds. And then the other one was a robbery. Attempted, they knocked it down to an attempted robbery, which all 3 I definitely did. I found that I was pregnant with my youngest son, and I had him in prison. I had him in jail, and then he went with me to prison. I later had to send him home. But all the times while I was in prison, I was getting high. all the times. I was never sober. The only time I was sober is when I had my son. And when my sister came and got him, I went back to what I knew. I knew how to jail. And I knew how to survive in there and get high. I had the visits coming from my sister. I had the girlfriend. I had the white friends because I knew they can get it. So I have to be with them because they're going to get it because their packages and stuff is not going to be checked thoroughly like ours. Their visits aren't going to be checked thoroughly like ours. So, that's how I survived. So I got locked up August 13, 2015. That was the last time I drank, smoked crack, or did a bag of heroin. And I got locked up for assault with intent to cause bodily harm. My sister, they were offering me 6.5 to 12. I told my lawyer, if you get it knocked down to 6, then I'll take it. Again, I know how to survive in jail. I can still get high. See, my sister will come visit me. I'll get packages and I'll get money. So, and then the winter's coming, so I'll be fine, right? My sister was like, I don't think you should do that. I think you should ask for a program. I think they'll be willing to give it to you if we'll just let them know that you have a problem. Every time you go to jail, you're always under the influence. You're never sober. I said, okay, I'll take a mother and child program if you could find me one. She was like, oh no, you're not going to take Arion. Arion doesn't do drugs. You're going to go. And she said, and if you don't go, then I'm out. I'm taking Arion and I'm gone. You could forget it. Like, I'm done with you. And to hear my sister say she would be done, because that's who's been through everything with me. So to hear her finally put her foot down, and when somebody not playing with you. Like, I knew she wasn't playing. And when I say take Arion, she wasn't going to take him as in drag me through court, drag my name, do any of that. She just was going to do what she had to do to make sure that he was going to be raised correctly because she knew I wouldn't fight it. So I go back to Rikers. I told them I'm not going to just second call it. So we had a second call. She would talk to my lawyer. The lawyer would talk to the DA. They would do all these calls and stuff with each other. Finally, I take the program. I cop out to the program. I'm in the program and I'm like, They're like, oh, you mandated? And I'm like, yeah, I'm mandated here. I used to be a drug dealer, all this stuff. I'm not the user now. I'm the drug dealer. But one day I was looking out the window. My two roommates had went on a pass. And I was looking out the window. And I said, God, this can't be my life. There's no way I'm supposed to be a junkie. No way. If you could just take the taste out of my mouth, I'll do everything else. Just take the taste away. And that was December 17th, 2015. And I haven't used drugs since August of 2015.
They talking to you?
I have ice cream. I need ice cream. No, every time I have a knife, I only take it. Now, okay, the ice cream. I couldn't get you up. You came from behind me. That's like snatching behind you right now. You could look What's the rate? Yeah, positive. I see the wood to do. I see the wood to do. I can't even control that. This shit was the water. I'm going to get the cheese now. Early in that day, that's how I fucked up. The camera was close. Wild Style 72. The building, trying to point it out. Wild Style 72, yeah.
Those conversations were tough, but I had to have them because I didn't want them to have no one else's perception of me. No matter who raised you, my kids when I got clean was 9, 8, and 2. They are now 19, 18, and 13. And I didn't want them to have a perception of me from someone else. So what I had to do was sit them down At that age, matter of fact, they were 12, 11, and 4 when I sat them down and let them know what I was doing, how I was doing it, when I was doing it, why I wasn't there. I explained to them addiction. I explained to them how one of them how I don't know who his father is. Like it was tough, but we cried. We laughed about it. We cried about it, and we healed. And they probably still a little bit broken because it's like, hello, lady, you did this to us. Because I know my mom passed though, but I'm still broken from all her secrets and all that she died with and all her drama and leaving me and my sisters and my brother. So trust me, I get it. But we working through it, and it's not our my relationship with my children isn't bad at all. Actually, that's my son. My other son is over here, so my kids are out here. They come with me every month. They don't skip a beat, and I think it's important that you just tell the truth, and that's what I did. No matter how much it was like, ew, you did that. Oh my God, you didn't take a shower? Ma, 50 Cent, like they had to know. Those were the things I were doing. Those were the amounts I was getting paid. But now you see me, I'm in Bali, I'm in Vegas, I'm here, we there, we doing this. So it's cool. I can get a grant for that, but they're gonna be like, what's your education look like? Because I'm a felon, so I could get the government grant because I'm a felon and they do those kind of things for us. Right. A lot of people don't know that. But you can start your own business. You just gotta write. And I'm very good at writing and stuff like that. But still, you need education. No matter what, you need education. I can't tell my children, oh, you gotta go to school and graduate, and I'm not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Because I could go get high right now, right? I can go get high for free right now. But then what comes after? Jail. Eventually death, because that's the only thing that I haven't gone through is death. And that's what's going to come. Do I have the urge? Yes. Is it every day? No. But when I get those urges, I just go through it. I get on the phone. I call my sister. We talk. By the time the phone call is over, I don't have the urge to get high anymore. I have the dreams. If I have to go, I've sat in my tub and rocked back and forth for hours at a time just because I don't want to get high today. Is every day like that? No. But what keeps me grounded is remembering that those trash cans get empty. Those rats beat you to that chicken nugget that kid just threw out. The relationship that I have with my children today, I never thought I would have. So that, and I just can't let myself down. I fought too hard. I can't let myself down. I won't. Ain't nothing. I just can't. Today I just can't get out. Me and my sister was in the living room, and I think I was in the room. I was living with my sister at the time. Or was I visiting my sister? I was visiting my sister at the time. And she lived right down the block from me. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I think I want to go out and feed like homeless people. But I want it to be specifically addicts with mental health issues. And she was like, bet, let's do it. How are we going to do it? I said, right now, I think I'll just collect stuff like Pop-Tarts, raviolis in a can that's ready to eat, things that are ready to eat so where they could just pop open and I'll give them an extra change of clothes. And it went from that to, and this was in 2019, COVID didn't hit yet. It was January. And it didn't hit bad yet. And we went to a place on 149th Street, down the block from where I live, where addicts frequent. And we had boxes of clothing. It was me, my sister, and my 9-year-old son. And we was giving out clothes, and I was giving out money, and I was giving out food. It just sort of like came to me like, you can't be clean and not help nobody else. And when I say help, not like, oh, you got to get clean, go to a program. I'm talking about, here's a meal. I know what it's like to have $8 and you want to get something to eat, but you also need that bag of dope. I know what it's like not to change your clothes or nothing for months at a time, right? So it just came to me. I prayed about it, and I'm here. I go out with my team, and we give out, it's called I Used to Be You. We give out clothing, toiletries. I cook food in my kitchen. If it's warm enough, we bring the grill out and the speaker, and we just have a good time. While I'm giving out food, I'll be like, I used to be an addict. They be like, why you do this? Who you with? What church? And I just be like, it's just me. I used to be you. And they was like, you used to be. And I'll pull out the pictures on my phone and I'll show them that, it can happen. If they want to get clean, we take it from there. I'll have them wait on the side while they're eating. I'll have someone take over feeding, and then I'll get their information, who's their next kin to contact of kin, so I can help them get into treatment, if that's what they want to do. I feel good. I feel like I have a purpose. I feel like I went through everything I was supposed to be where I am today. To the person that's struggling, my advice would be to hold on. Hold on. Your time is coming. Please hold on. Don't give up. If you got to go to 1,000 treatment programs, if you have to go to NA meetings, if you have to go to AA meetings, keep going. Your time is coming. No, it's not a forever thing at all. To the person that loves someone the way my sister loved me when I was getting high, don't give up on them. Giving up is the easy part. Leaving us in our filth is the easy part. But having our back is the hard part, and that's what I need you to do. I need you to have their back no matter what. Let them know that it gets greater later. Let them know that they have someone that they can confide in. If it take them 1,000,000 times, like it took me, just never give up and always be there.
Paragon 7 Studios.